All right, welcome everybody to the Hobby CNC with Dave show, the official one. We had kind of an unofficial one yesterday, but let me bring my crew in for the night here. We got Mr. Mark Lindsay hanging with us tonight. Sean is here. How you doing, Sean?
Doing great. Hopefully everyone
and my buddy Paul Corliss is hanging out with us tonight too. So welcome, guys. And before we get started, I want to take a minute to thank Sean and Mark, and also Rob Schuster was in here for a little while yesterday, but especially to Mark because he was kind of the main button pusher, comment shower, and all that of the stream as I did a live unboxing and assembly of that little 3018. So appreciate you guys helping me out.
That was fun.
And it was fun. I like doing those kind of things. It was hot, but it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And I went back and watched one of those other videos, one of the guys that I mentioned yesterday. And I thought, man, he puts that thing together in like 30 minutes. I'm thinking, yeah, but he did, but it was completely different than the directions, and that's what I get for trying to follow the directions. I should have just queued up his video and went along with that, and it would have been a much shorter stream. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. If anybody don't know what we're talking about, we did a live stream yesterday where I was doing an unboxing and assembly of a 3018 Pro, one of those little dinky CNCs. So if you want to check that out, you're already here at my YouTube channel. It'll be down in on my channel page somewhere. I see somebody up here a while ago asked if we had a topic, and we kind of do, but that doesn't mean we can't change. If there's something special Thomas Newton if there's something special that you would like us to discuss, throw it out there and we may take off on that. I usually try to have something in the back of my head to to talk about. Sometimes we stay on the straight and narrow, and other times we're off the rails. So who knows what will happen. But anyway, I see a lot of looks like some new names in the chat over there. If this is your first time here, welcome. I see Sean's already getting in on the act there. He's got the hashtag Jenny going. We will be doing another live drawing for a Jenny bit. Cody from Cadence Manufacturing and Design sponsors the live drawing for the Jenny bit every single week, and I appreciate that. So if you're wanting to get in on that, put in hashtag Jenny, and we will. I've already got it set up over here. Let's see. Yeah, we just got a couple in there so far. So, but it'll start collecting the all the hashtag Jennies that are in there, and we'll be doing that drawing in a little bit. Did you start to say something, Mark? You looked like you was getting ready to say something.
Oh no, I'm just sitting here ready to follow the lead. But since you ask, make sure you put that hashtag just as it's spelled right there. If you put a space between that pound sign and that J, it probably won't pick it up. Do it exactly like you see. Don't capitalize nothing. Yeah.
Just put it exactly like it's shown there. That's why I have that up there, so that people can see how to put it just like it says there. Let me check now, because I see it's up to 22. So I see a bunch of them scrolling by there. So just put it hashtag Jenny just like it shows right there. And I'll be popping that up there again in a little bit, so that anybody who joins later can get in on that. What's new? Paul, you got anything? I'm gonna start with you, because I didn't talk to you yesterday, I guess.
The only thing that's new is I'm trying to figure out if I want to spend $154 and buy another little CNC.
Well, it's only money. You can't take it away.
Have you cut anything on that yet? I saw your video this morning where you were playing around with it a little bit and making it go back and forth.
It's still sitting right back here. I haven't taken it in the house yet, but I watched the video from that James Dean Designs, and he's got a really good video where he shows how to, because this Gerbil setting stuff, all that's fairly new to me. I've played around with it a little bit, but he shows how to change the setting and just start upping the speed and the acceleration. He does the acceleration first, I think, and then he he gets it to where it starts messing up, and as soon as it starts stalling, then he backs it down, kind of like you used to do in Mach 3 or really any software. Dave Clemens took the bait.
Yeah,
I saw
they are fun to play with, I'm telling you. And I don't have this one. Well, it's sitting back here, but it's not got anything loaded on it, no material or nothing. But I tweaked all those settings, the acceleration settings, and the speed. And like I said, you just play around until you get it to where it's stalling, and then you go back down a little bit, and then when you get it running smooth, then you take you figure, I'll take about 80% of that speed and use that number, and that's what that other guy did. So I came back here, I was writing down his numbers, and I came out here and plugged them in, and I had a little program I'd made, and it was just I wasn't cutting it, I was just moving it around, cutting air. And when I first started with the basic settings, however that thing was set up from default, it took like 12 minutes to do it. And after I changed those settings, it was like 5 minutes. And so it cut it in less than half. So, but I'm sure, that's mostly just rapids moving in between stuff. It's still you're not going to make it cut any faster, depending on what you're cutting. But yeah, they're going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to playing that.
Well, you made an interesting point when you were doing the assembly on it, that it's not going to compete with a Gatton CNC or an Avid or a 150. But if somebody knows nothing about it, for $150, you can get a machine that will cut, and it will get you. It'll get your foot in the door, and it'll open the door so that you're going to spend more money pretty quick.
Yeah, and that's, to me, I look, like I said yesterday, I look at it like spending $154 to take a course in CNC, a hands-on, put it together, play with the settings, figure out stuff. And that's, that's a pretty cheap course if, in my book. But
I'd say about 40% of the things I cut on the CNC now would fit on that machine. Most of the things I cut are anywhere from about 10 by about 16, somewhere in that neighborhood. So not much bigger than that one, but a little bit less than half of what I cut would fit on that machine.
Yeah. Well, I didn't, like I said, I spent so much time playing around with the settings today that I haven't done the other things I want to do, like make the spoil board and figure out how I'm going to attach that and all that kind of stuff. I think I got it figured out how I'm going to do it. I just didn't have time to do it. But I'm going to try to get all that done, and then I'm going to start running some stuff and just see how it comes out. I'll post videos, win or fail, whatever it might be. I will post them. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun to play with. And the cool thing is I can take it in the house if I want to, sit in the AC, throw me an Amazon box over it or something to keep the dust in.
Corral the dust.
But
cut away.
But yeah, it really wasn't too bad out here today, though. It was still around 90 something, but the humidity's way down. So it only felt like 90 something instead of, 100 and something. But
I like anyway. Dave Clement's message up here. Yeah, I can take it with me camping when I get a chance to go. You could.
I thought about that too, because they are so dadgum small. And like I said, the label on the box said it was 14.7 pounds. So even when you get stuff on it, a spoil board and all that, it's still going to be light enough you could throw it in the car. And like you said, you go camping or something and you get bored, you can say, well, let me work on that. Maybe not cut something, but you can at least be playing around trying to learn something with it. So I think it's
and if you cut anything, you're going to have a crowd watching you. So
yeah, exactly. You could start selling camping signs right there.
Yeah. Small camping signs.
Yes. Just one to go in the window,
Yeah.
On the overhead.
Yeah. All righty. We got, see, Mark, I guess you're the one tagging these questions.
Yes, sir, I am.
Let's run through these here. See what we got here. Alan says, how about discussing tear out? I have some African blackwood today and experienced a bit of tear out. I am thinking I need to kick up the RPMs a touch. Well, Alan, I'm pretty sure you have a 1finity, and I think you have a spindle as well, if I remember right. I have never cut anything as fancy as African blackwood, so I don't have anything to add to that as far as how to cut that without getting tear out. But what were you running? Were you doing like a V-carve, or where was the tear out coming on, a profile cut or V-carve or what? Mark, you got any thoughts on that?
That's where I was going to go. First thing I would say is, if you're pocketing or profile cutting, use a down cut bit. That's probably the number one thing you can do to get rid of tear out. He's a profile on a clock part, he says.
Okay.
Right down below. Yeah, a down cut spiral bit is the number one thing you can do to help with tear out.
Okay. And what about the RPMs?
I'll be honest, I haven't noticed really any difference in spindle RPM or even feed rates. I haven't really noticed much of a difference. It's more the geometry of the bit.
Yeah. Well, I guess you also have to kind of look and see what kind of chips you're getting too. Are you getting chips? Or are you getting dust? Or
right?
What?
Okay, he said he was using a compression bit. Okay, on your first initial plunge, because a compression bit, the bottom, a certain amount of the bottom is upcut. Then you get into the compression section, then the top is down cut. If you're not getting that initial plunge down past that upcut portion, you are using an upcut bit.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So
now, if he is using a Jenny, what is that? Whatever he calls them, I can't keep the name straight. But the one that Cody makes, it has a much shorter part of upcut, so you don't have to go as deep. Okay. I think it's Cody. You're out there. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like 100 thou or something like that.
He says yes, buried it deep enough. Personally, I would just go with the down cut and see if that gives you any difference, because African blackwood is expensive stuff, and I get it. I know that. I would go with a straight down cut bit, just me personally.
How deep are the cuts too? That's the other question. How fast and how deep?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's we'll go ahead and take another one here. David Pingle says, I was trying unsuccessfully to download feeds and speeds for Whiteside router bits. Can you help me out? Mark, that'd probably be another one for you, or maybe Sean, because I don't ever try to download anybody's feed and speeds because I know they're not going to do me no good. They're just a ballpark, base line to go off of, maybe,
Yeah, and the tool manufacturers will tell you that. If you look on Whiteside's website, they will say that their feeds and speeds are ballpark estimates. They don't know your machine. They don't know what your machine is capable of doing, and they don't know what kind of material you're cutting. There are just too many variables. So even they will say, make sure that these feeds and speeds are safe and appropriate for your machine. Thing to remember is most of these bit companies engineer their bits for industrial machines. And unless you're using an industrial machine, your machine probably won't be able to handle the feed speeds and cutting depths that an industrial machine will. So, I mean, I always start out conservative. I mean, Dave taught me that. I start conservative and I adjust feed rate on the fly. And I very rarely adjust my RPM, because I'm using there it is, Porter Cable 890 router, and it is variable speed, but it's manual. I have to set that with the knob up on top. I can't adjust the RPMs on the fly, but I can adjust the feed rate. So I start conservative somewhere around just myself 60 inches per minute, and I adjust from there. That doesn't mean that that's what it's going to end up cutting at. Just means that's what I start at. And then I bump it up until I hear a little bit of chatter, then I back it down.
Yeah. Because you can always speed up, but sometimes you can't slow down because by then you've got a broken bit or something.
Yeah.
So,
and like Jim says here, consider ramping.
Oh, ramping in the compression bit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't own a compression bit yet. So I mainly use just standard downcut bits.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's grab another one here. Thomas Newton says, I'm leaning toward UC CNC, maybe the UC 300 ETH, which is the Ethernet deal. It appears to be a complete motion control board. Does it require a breakout board? I don't have the UC 300. I just use the UC 100, which you obviously got to have a breakout board to run those. And I think there's some inputs and outputs on a UC 300, but I don't know how many. So if anybody else out in the chat has one of those and would like to chime in on that, we can get some maybe a confirmation on that. Otherwise, I'd just say go to the website and take a good look, because it is a complete motion control board, but I don't know how much extra you can add to that. I know the other one they sell, and I know I'm going to get it wrong. I do it every time. The one that a couple of 2 or 3 weeks ago when I had Stacy on, and he's switching to it with his plug and play thing. It's I can't ever remember that silly thing. ABBX. I don't know. It's a bunch of letters, and there's an A in it. That's all I know. But it is a complete, and that might be a little more than the UC 300, but it's made by the same folks, and it is the complete deal. There's plenty of inputs and outputs and stuff on there. You don't need a breakout board with that one. It's got all kinds of stuff. So you might want to take a look at that one too. Let's see. I should be deleting these or unstarring them, I guess, as I go. Raymond says, do you have a link for the mini CNC that uses Mach 3? I don't have one handy, but I could get one. They're on Amazon. You know, you would have to, when you search for it though, you'd have to put 3018 and then Mach 3 somewhere in the search, because if you don't, it'll just find the Gerbil based ones. But yeah, you can find them on Amazon. If you can't find them, let me know. I'll round up a link for you.
What I was laughing at is, I don't know, do we ever have a consensus on that? Because I hear people calling it Gerbil. I hear people calling it gerbil. Which is it?
Well, and some people will just say GRBL. They won't even try to say it. I call it Gerbil just because gerbil, you think you're talking about the little rodent, you know.
That's what I thought.
So I always call it Gerbil, is what I've called it. You know, of course, I mispronounce a lot of things, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see here. How would you say that name? Obostat defibrillator. What would the next size up from a 3018 be? I think they make one that's a 3020, which is only slightly bigger. And then they do make a 3040, which is 300 by 400. And of course, you can get a 3018 and then get extensions, because it's just they send you longer, the shafts, longer lead screws, and the extruded aluminum. That's how they do it. They have all kinds of extension kits for all different sizes. But a 3020 would be the next size up from that. And like I said, you're not talking very much bigger at all.
Right.
All right, let's see here. T. White says, Dave, did you purchase the little CNC based off the example you showed a few weeks back on that 90-hour carving? I'm not sure what 90-hour carving you're. Unless you might be talking about when a few weeks back when I did the show and tell thing, because there were a lot of really cool photos that I found to show on the show and tell show. that were done by a machine just like that. So yeah, I guess the answer would be yeah. That kind of influenced me a little bit. It certainly piqued my interest and made me go, you can do that with that thing. And so that's when I started watching videos and stuff like that, and quickly learned that just like any CNC, you could take any CNC there is, and you put it in the hands of somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, and they're going to go, oh man, this thing's a piece of junk. But you take a really CNC that you don't think is very good and put it in the hands of somebody who knows what they're doing, and they're going to make that thing make some cool stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's I've seen it with, I hate to mention names, but I've seen it with the X-Carb. A lot of people, when they first came out, they were sending them to every YouTube influencer on the planet, and some of them did great with it. Most of them did poor with it. And in fact, they would do what obligated video they needed to do, an unboxing and a assembly and a first run, and then that was it. You never saw it anymore. So, but I have seen people that have those and make guitar bodies and all kinds of stuff. So it's just, you just got to know the limitations of the machine, and that's any machine, any of them. You walk into a cabinet shop that's got a big 5x10 with the big suction things and all that. I guarantee you they can screw that one up if they try hard enough.
Yep.
It's all about the operator running the thing and knowing what it'll do. So.
Yep, it's finding the limits and the parameters of that machine and working within those limits and those parameters. Yeah. It's not going to win any speed contests, but
yeah, I'm going to, like I said, when I get ready to start running stuff, how you can't really do a video and go, okay, well, I'm going to do this whole real time because it might be, several hours, but right. I'll fast forward some stuff, but then I will do a section where I'm like, okay, here it is in real time, and you can see how fast it's running and stuff like that. Because I want to know that stuff myself. So I guess that was kind of a long-winded answer for old T here. But all right, let's see. Brooke says, "Hey, Dave and panel, do you have a favorite box joint for drawers such as finger dovetail or lap?" I'll let you guys take that one, because the only kind of joints, if I'm going to do any kind of fancy thing, I do dovetails, and I use my dovetail jig. I don't use a CNC.
My latest favorite joint is using the box joint gadget.
Yes.
I found that, and I uploaded it, and I played around with it, and man, does that make nice joints.
Yeah, I have ran a couple of samples using that gadget you're talking about. I forgot about that. That is pretty cool. But go ahead, Mark.
If it's going to be decorative, I'm with Dave. Router, dovetail bit, and a dovetail jig. Yeah. If it's not decorative, like if it's a drawer for a kitchen cabinets or something like that, plain old rabbit joint. Cut a half-inch deep rabbit on my sides, or half-inch wide rabbit on my sides, and straight backs, glue it all together. 3 brad nails on each corner, done. And then I buy bottom mount drawer slides, so it all holds everything. They screw onto the bottom of the sides, and that's it, done. Just took me longer to tell you how to do it than it does to actually do it.
Yeah. All righty, that's the last of our tagged questions so far.
Brooks Martin wanted to know about the Vectric gadget. If you have Vectric, what is it, Mark Pro and Aspire, you can get the gadgets with.
Right, V-Carve Pro and Aspire. You can
add a gadget, and one of the gadgets you can add is a box joint gadget, and it works slick.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mark, can you tell them how to get it? Because I forgot.
I'll be honest with you. I don't use gadgets.
Oh, don't you?
Really don't know.
Yeah.
Because a good percentage of the people who watch my videos are using VCarve Desktop, and that's not available to them.
Right.
So I try to show everybody how to do this stuff, without using the gadgets. I do need to get into them though, because I mean, I am missing out on a lot of things. But
they're not that hard. They're actually part of it. I don't exactly remember how I got to it, but it's in the program, and then you can go to the site and download. Due to the fact I did the keyhole gadget. That way I can put a keyhole in the back of carved signs. And that works pretty good. Gadgets they're kind of cool once you start playing with them.
Don't they also have a some kind of gear gadget thing?
Yep. Yes, they do.
I think Mark's trying to look up this stuff here.
I
I think I downloaded, because I think I went to get the box gadget and I saw that one. I love gears. So, but I don't think I've used it yet to make anything.
They do have them. You just have to go online and look for it. What comes with it is a DXF batch processor, a Celtic weave creator, drag knife toolpath, explode vectors, keyhole toolpath, and wrapping for rotary axis. And that's what comes with, that's what came with the Spire. But again, I don't use them. So I don't even have the box gadget. I have to go find it and then download it and add it.
Yeah, I will admit that one's pretty cool. I've only cut 2 little test boxes. And the first one, me being an old sheet metal guy, it's like, you always have to add a little stuff. And the first one I did, it was nice, but it was too loose. The second one I did was perfect. You could just stick it all together and it would hold together without even, putting any glue on it yet. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it's a pretty slick little gadget.
Alan has it's upper menu bar, gadgets, add gadgets.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, and then you have to go online somewhere, I think, and get.
Well, there are a lot of third-party gadgets out there too. There's a couple of guys that have made some very cool gadgets, as a matter of fact. But I don't know anything about them because I haven't used them.
Yeah,
but I do need to get into them because I know there's some neat stuff in there.
Now, are there? You may not know the answer to this, but are there any of these third-party guys that have made some gadgets that will work with desktop, or no?
No, the gadget menu is not even in desktop.
Okay.
So they have no way of even accessing that.
So they're just going to have to cough up that extra.
And it's one of the incentives to upgrade to.
What is it? $250 or $300 difference?
Whatever the difference in price is, I don't know.
Well, desktop is what, $350?
Boy, I didn't know there'd be a quiz.
Well, you're the dadgum Vectric guy.
I don't work for them, man. I'm just
I know, but you eat, sleep, and breathe Vectric stuff. I don't.
Pro is around $700. I know.
Yeah, I know the Pro is $699 unless it's gone up. But I was thinking the other one is $349 or $350, something like that.
Okay, let me see here.
Now I hope the wife's not watching this. She doesn't know what I spent.
You better talk in code in case she is.
Okay, VCarve Pro is $699.
Yeah, and what's the
and VCarve Desktop is $349.
Okay,
so
all right, yeah.
The difference in price. Let me
that's
whip out my calculator here.
$250 or thereabouts.
$699 minus $349. $350.
Oh, it's $300. Yeah. Yeah,
the big jump is from Pro to Aspire. That's
right.
That's the budget breaker right there.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a home hobbyist, yes, it is a big. Well, doesn't matter who you are; it's a big chunk of change. But if you're a home hobbyist, yes, that's a lot of money. But if you're running a business, it's deductible.
Yeah. Yep, that's
And
true.
plus, Vectric does cover you when you step up.
Yes, and you do. Yeah, again, you get you get credit for what you've already spent. So
Okay, this is what he's talking about. I guess the gear. I don't know what the gear gadget or gear generator. I'm not sure what they call it, but it creates DXF. That's cool.
yes,
I'm pretty sure I got it because, like I said, I think when I went to get the box gadget, I saw the gear and I like, let me get it while I'm here. But I don't even know if I've installed it. I might have, but I love playing around with gears, doing stuff.
Yes, there is a gear gadget. There are, oh my gosh, there are all kinds of different gadgets. A lot to do with the rotary axis as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And in fact, the guy who created the wrapping gadget, that was one of the third-party gadgets, and he made a deal with Vectric, and it now comes with, it's what they incorporated into their wrapping gadget.
Okay.
So.
Okay. I tell you what, I'm a big fan of their rotary wrapping, whatever you want to call it, stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because it works really,
it does
really nice.
It does work very well.
On my Gatton CNC and on that little Bob's Revolution, I've made some pretty cool stuff. All using that wrapping thing, and a lot of it just getting STL files from Thingiverse that are really made to be 3D printed.
Mm-hmm.
They're really not.
That's the cool part.
Drawn kind of like the way you would want to do them on a rotary, but if you turn it sideways and add a little meat there to hold it, you can get it done. Okay. Todd says there's a hole gadget. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't use the keyhole gadget. I did a video on how to do it without using the gadget, and that's the only 2 pieces of G code that I saved and reused. Was I created a G code to do a vertical keyhole that's about 3/4 of an inch tall, and a horizontal keyhole that's about 2 inches wide, with the XY0 set to the center of the keyhole. And I saved those on the computer, and those are the only 2 that I reuse. Everything else I dump the G code and generate new.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have talked pretty highly about the keyhole gadget, but I've been making keyholes for years because I know how to write G code, and it's only about 4 or 5 lines.
Yeah.
So you write one little short program and store it, and if I want it to go the other way, I just turn the material the other way. So it's I never did see the big deal about the keyhole gadget, but I guess it is. A lot of people like it.
A lot of it is just the ability to do it yourself, to say, yeah, I created that tool path, and the bit plunges down, goes this way, and then comes back and lifts out. Just, yes, I did that. And, you got to learn. You learn by doing.
Okay, let's see. Douglas Tapking says, where can I learn more? I downloaded an STL and imported into VCar Pro, but then what? Are you talking about rotary stuff? If you are, if you're not talking, well, I don't know. Mark, you got any rotary stuff? Or I know you got it covered.
I
with the 3D stuff.
I only did one rotary access video really after I got it up and running, and then other things got in the way, and I never got back to the rotary axis. So everything that I put into that rotary, I haven't gotten back to.
Yeah. So. Well, back when I was doing several, I get on this kick where I do rotary projects, and I'll do several of them in a row, and then I may not run one for a year. But I got where I was doing those on my Gatton, and the first couple I think I did, I don't know, chess pieces or something like that. And then I had somebody go, well, how can you show how you did it? So I know it's not as good as a how-to as Mark would put out, but I do go through the steps that I use, maybe not the right ones, but if you're looking about how to do it with rotary, you could go check that out. And I have a playlist. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it says something rotary projects, I think that's what it is or something. But you can check that out if that's what you're interested in. But if it's not the rotary and it's just pulling one in and doing 3D stuff, then go check out.
He did modify it. He came back and said not rotary, just doing 2.5D on a next wave. I think he means shark. 510.
Yeah, I hope not shark.
That's why I got rid of that as quick as I could.
Yeah.
No, if you're talking about just standard flat carve, 3D carve, I have a playlist on my channel, Mark Lindsay CNC. It's 3D carving for the absolute beginner. And start at video 1 and work your way through, and you'll know everything I know.
Yep.
It's only like 9
now,
videos.
one thing I've done, I've taken the 3D models like from Thingiverse or other places, and I've literally smashed them down into a 2.5D, just by controlling your Z.
Yep.
I was
going to have a 2-sided 3D model project, but this week, but real life conspired against me, so I don't have a video this week. But I am going to be doing a 2-sided 3D import an STL, split it in half, and do 2-sided.
Okay.
So.
Alrighty. Let's see here. It looks like we got my favorite solar man in the house. He says, I can hashtag Jenny tonight. Yeah, he's out camping. Yeah, here he is. Oops, where'd it go? He says, evening, folks. I'm campground living tonight. All right.
You roasting marshmallows over the fire there, Ryan?
Yeah. All right. Let me do a quick update on the hashtag Jenny thing. We got 46 showing right now. And let me go through and remind, because we might have had some folks join us. Put in hashtag Jenny in the chat if you want to get in on the drawing. And what we will be giving away tonight, my boss Cody says we're going to do this one, the mini Jenny. So beautiful piece of art there. Yeah, that's the one we're going to be giving away tonight. So put in hashtag Jenny. And we're already about 47 minutes in, so it won't be long. We'll be doing the drawing for that. If anybody else has any questions or stuff. Like I said, I mentioned to Mark yesterday after the marathon live stream, something that we could talk about tonight, but I don't ever try to really, sometimes I do, but if somebody else has something questions that they want to ask, we'll just go off in that direction. And, instead of trying to come up with a specific topic. So, Ryan's reminding folks that there are 29 thumbs up, but there's a lot more people than that watching. So.
Slackers, all of them slackers.
That a boy, Ryan. There'll be a little something extra in your check this week. Okay, Mark said his playlist is called 3D for the absolute beginners. So, all right. Well, I don't see any other questions.
Sorry, Dave. Didn't mean to plug my channel on yours.
No worries.
But remember, I'm all your fault.
Yeah, I know it. You keep reminding me of that. See, I'm getting blamed for all kinds of stuff now. People.
What's the truth?
Jerry blames me for him getting the revolution and stuff like that. I can't help it if I get stuff and it looks cool. you got to show some restraint, folks.
Dave the Pusher. Dave the Pusher.
Yeah. It's just, no, there's a lot worse things you could spend that money on.
For sure.
True.
So that's the way I look at it. Lord knows, I know that if I see something I want, I'm going to get it.
Well, you've already got me with a Ender 3 in one cart. You've got me now with a a 3018 in another cart. I'm just waiting to see what you come up with next. So.
Okay. Well, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah,
you got to go ahead and bite the bullet and get the Ender 3 because it's a lot of fun.
You see that black toolbox right there, Paul?
Yep.
If I didn't have to buy that, there would be an Ender 3 right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, the cool things about both of the things that I've gotten recently, well, I guess you could say 3 because I have 2 Ender 3s. They don't take that much room. They're light. You can pick them up, move them around. That's kind of what I'm doing because I've had so many toys, big toys, that I run out of room. So I've got my little desktop laser sitting over here. As soon as I clear off the other end of that thing, that's where my 3018 is going to end up, right next to that laser. Because like I said, I want to experiment and try to do, make some kind of a 3D thing or whatever. Well, not necessarily a 3D thing, but some kind of carving, and then put it in that desktop laser and kind of highlight it with curves and stuff. So we'll see how all that works out. Let's see here. Raymond has a question. He says, "Are you still playing with drones?" Well, no, but I bought. Here we go. You're making me feel bad now. Back about, I can't even remember how many years ago it was. It's probably been 5 or 6 years now. I bought a brand spanking new DJI Mavic Air Fly More combo. $999.99 off of Amazon. And it's never been in the air. Still in there in the box. I had big plans. I really wanted one, and like I do on most stuff, I go feet first into watching videos and all this stuff. And I should have waited a little longer before I pulled the trigger and bought it, because I wanted to use it, doing aerial shots for YouTube videos and stuff like that. But then I found out pretty quick that if you are a YouTuber and your channel's monetized, they consider that as commercial use. The FAA does. So you have to have a license, which, is practically like getting a pilot's license almost. It's the stuff you had to learn weather charts and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I really want to do this. So I signed up and started taking that course. And I thought, this is ridiculous. I just want to go up in the air a little bit and shoot some cool pictures and come down. I'm not going to fool with all
I
that
think
stuff.
they have modified that, changed that rule.
Oh, have they? I don't know. If they have,
yeah.
I've still got it because I never sold it. It's still in there in the box. It's the whole fly. It's the Fly More combo. It's the Maverick Air. It's the spare batteries and the whole package.
I just didn't know what I would ever use a drone for. It's only a 12x16 shop. Where do I need to move it to?
Well, I know, but a lot of guys will do those, outdoor shots and be 300 or 400 feet up or something like that. So I don't know that. Yeah. I just always like watching drone footage. It's cool.
I agree with you 100%. I just wouldn't use it.
And like I said, that I thought, well, the things. And I'm sure they're even better now. They practically fly themselves, But when I found out you had to go to all that trouble to take a test and get some kind of license and stuff, I thought, nah, that's more trouble than it's worth. But so I never did. It's never been in the air.
That's because you had to deal with the man.
Yeah, I don't like dealing with a man.
I think I'd use mine for fishing.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how that works.
Put a little servo on it.
There.
Put a servo on it, hook like a snap swivel to the bottom of the drone, fly it out instead of trying to cast your line. Just hit the button, let it drop your lure, and just start reeling in.
I've seen videos of people trolling for fish using a remote control boat.
Yes.
I've done that.
Yeah, I've got a friend
I've
got a friend that does that. Yes.
Yep. It's a lot of fun.
There are people who do the drop the lure type of thing for offshore fishing out on the ocean. They just fly it out and they'll spot a school of fish, drop the lure, and fly the drone back.
That's
Just start reeling. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan wants to know if he can borrow it. Yeah, we'll talk, buddy. We'll talk. It's I've had it back there for I don't know how many years. It's still in my Amazon order history stuff.
It'll cost you a Z card, Ryan.
Yeah, we'll talk. Raspberry Pi man. I was speaking of the gerbil or gerbil or however you want to say it. The Raspberry Pis. I had one of those at one time and bought the Protoneer hat that goes on it and was going to play around with that. And then I got busy, something shiny come along and I got busy doing something else. So then I ended up giving it away as a prize in one of the, I think it was maybe the Gatton CNC Christmas Challenge or something like that. And then I think somebody won it, and then I think Ryan ended up with it because they weren't using it, so they sent it to Ryan. But and of course now, if you can find a Raspberry Pi, back then you could get them for about $35 or something all day long, and now you can't even hardly find one. And if you do, they're about $150.
Jeez.
So I don't understand why the Arduino things are still pretty cheap, but the Pis are out of sight. Anybody out there in chat know why that's the case? Why they're
China?
Why they're so high? I don't know.
Yeah, I was just looking at them. I think a decent one was $175 for a 4. So I've been using the Pi 3B pluses.
Yeah,
because I use them for Octoprint and the 3D printers and RetroPie arcades.
Well, I know chips are pretty expensive right now. I just upgraded RAM on a couple of computers, and the RAM chips were a bit pricey. They weren't outrageous, but they were pricey as compared to normal.
Yeah, Teague says they. Oh, wait a minute. I skipped one. He says crypto mining, using a Pi to crypto mine, so maybe that's why they're getting hard to get or something. I don't know. You might know they'd screw it up with that stuff. But anyway, we are right at an hour here. Should we give away a bit, you think? Let's see. We've got, let's see how many folks we got watching. We got 65 folks watching, and we've got 54 entries. So if you're not in on it yet and want to get in on it, put a hashtag Jenny in the chat. And I will keep an eye on my counter here, and right at the top of the hour, we will get the Jenny bit thing.
And like Mark said, no spaces.
Yeah.
Yep, just like it is right there. I'll just leave that up there for a minute.
Yep.
Just like that.
No spaces, don't capitalize nothing, just hashtag Jenny.
All right, let's see. Ryan says the Raspberry Pi says it's the supply chain. All righty. I figured that was probably something. I better not say it. I'll get in trouble. Speaking my mind. I'll just be quiet. Anyway, all right, we got about another minute, and we will do the hashtag Jenny thing. Go ahead and get it ready and bring it over here
Baker,
too.
you might want to. Roy Baker might want to redo it. You got a space in your hashtag Jenny.
Yeah, just like it's showing on the screen. Hashtag Jenny, no spaces.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm not sure about I'm not sure about the lowercase. I don't think that matters, but just to be safe, I would whenever I'm doing them, I always put it just like they have it.
Yep.
So.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Oh, shut
Starting
up.
now.
Everybody wants to get into the app.
Hey, Alexa, set the alarm for 5 minutes. Hey, is it Alexa or is it Google?
It's on my phone it's I guess it's the Google thing. Every once in a while that stupid thing will pop up and start talking and I'm like, shut up. I never use that.
That's why we got rid of our Alexa thing. Is we'd be in the house talking and all of a sudden Alexis would answer us and I never asked it a question. And
see, it set some kind of timer. Did you tell it 2 minutes? Did you tell it a timer, Sean?
No, I was just playing around.
I'm pausing it. Yeah, that stupid thing. Every once in a while, it starts, and I mean, it'll be in my back pocket, and I'll be out here, and all of a sudden, I hear somebody talking, and I'm like, "What?" But I never use that on my phone, so I don't know what that's all about. All right, we're in a minute here. Let me pull this thing in here. We're going to do this Genie bit. 55 in. Get it in now, or that's going to be it. Everybody ready? Good luck. And here we go. Hey, Mini. Jenny, congratulations. You need to, I don't think I've said it, but you need to go here at www.cadencemfgdesign.com and send Cody your info, and he will get that out to you. Thanks for playing along. Let's see here.
Hey, congratulations, Wade.
Yeah, Dave said she is listening. Yeah. I never have figured out, because and of course, I have one just on the other side of that wall, so she's probably listening to me now. But have you ever asked your Alexa, just say, hey, Alexa, are you listening to me? And then they always say, no, only if you say the activate word, or so I forget what they call the thing. But I'm thinking, if you're not listening all the time, how would you know when I say it?
Exactly.
But they try to make you think they're not listening. But I've had my TV is probably, I don't know, maybe 15 feet from where I have the one in there in the kitchen. And if somebody on the live stream or whatever, or in a video says the A word, there she goes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
There's a video I saw somewhere, I don't remember where it was, where somebody took an iPhone with Siri and put it down next to an Echo Dot with Alexa. It just got them talking back and forth to each other. It's actually pretty funny, some of the things they go through.
Yeah,
it's funny.
I've actually thought about just saying something totally outrageous but I'm afraid there'll be black vans show up in front of my house if.
Well, if you just start talking about trains in your, as you're walking around the house, don't call it up, don't say the trigger word, but just start talking about trains. See how many days it is before you start seeing advertisements for train stuff on your
days. You mean hours?
Yeah, just see how long it'll be.
Yeah, I've got when I started watching videos about the 3018. All of a sudden, every other Facebook ad I saw was that.
Yeah,
but
that was a search. You actually went looking for that, So, but if you were just talking in your house, you're not actively searching for that.
Yeah,
but you'll still start seeing the ads come up.
Yeah, I tell you, it's crazy the way the stuff works these days.
Now I don't got one of those. No thanks.
Troy said, just Big Brother, keeping track of every move I make.
Big advertising.
They'd get pretty bored if they were trying to follow me around. They'd probably be going, shaking the thing, going, I don't think this thing's working. This guy never goes anywhere.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right.
Well, I don't see. Oh. Go ahead, Sean.
Never mind. Oh, never mind.
No, go ahead.
I'll stop until later. I was just curious to know if you watched a certain movie, because if you did, you saw the tracking from the phones.
Oh, yeah. I have not watched it yet. I keep forgetting I have it. It's still sitting in there on the desk, and I haven't watched it yet. But I will get around to watching it. Like I said, I got to make sure I'm in the right mood to watch it, because I'm sure I'm not going to be happy when I get done watching it. So. Anyway. Ryan says he just got it.
Yeah, I just saw the
track ad. Yeah, it is crazy how they hear, and it's everything. I'm sometimes I think my TV's got some kind of way to listen to me. I don't know if it does or not, but
if
there
you
might
got
be
a
some
smart
kind
TV.
of microphone. Well, it is a smart TV, but I'm like, is there a microphone in that thing somewhere? I don't know. But it's weird how between that and the Alexa and my stupid phone and just anything,
I think my
it's almost like they know you're thinking about it, because I live alone, so I don't talk, I talk to Jack, but I live alone. It's not like I have conversations with people. But yet I can be thinking about something. Next thing I know, I'm like, well, there it is. It's on there. They're showing me ads. So I don't know. Okay, Dave Clemens got a good question here. He says, what YouTuber do you recommend for the 3018? There are a lot of them, but I'm going to give you my top two, and in this order. A guy named James Prestige, I think is how you say his last name, but his YouTube channel is James Dean Designs. He is my favorite to watch. And then another one, his YouTube channel is called Techie DIY, TECHY DIY. So those two are, in my opinion, the best. And I've watched them all, because when I get on something, I'm on it, and I watch all of them. But James is really good. And not just for the 3018, but anybody somebody a while ago asked about the next size up and stuff. I mean, both these guys are in the UK. So you got the accent thing going on. But he does unboxing and build videos and reviews of all kinds of stuff. Lasers, desktop lasers, these mini CNCs, from the little tiny ones like this one to the ones that get a little bigger. I think they have one that's like 60/40, which is a 600 by 400 millimeter footprint or size or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, those two are my favorites. Let's see if we got any other questions. If not, I guess we will wrap this up. Yeah, Dave, if you go to the live stream that I did yesterday, I have in the video description both of those guys' YouTube channels, as well as I think I picked out a video about the 3018 and linked it as well.
And there's an affiliate link.
Yes, most importantly, there is an affiliate link should you so be inclined to purchase a couple dozen of them.
Yeah.
So
clicky.
Yeah, clicky. Anyway, let's see. I don't see any other questions. I guess anybody else got anything you want to talk about? Mark, you said you didn't have a video.
Yeah, real life conspired against me. What between dental appointments and trying to get things done in between raindrops around here, I ran out of time and didn't get it done. So I'm going to shoot for that. Hopefully next week. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just a lot of stuff going on around here. When I built this shop, I put landscaping on hold for a whole year, and I'm paying the price for it now. I've got 2 years to catch up for. So
yeah.
I'm almost done digging in this yard. Yeah, right.
Okay, but you'll have your normal live stream.
Yes, I will have a normal regular
3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific.
Right. On my YouTube channel.
Or be square, as they say.
Right. Yeah. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. There's probably 90% of the time you don't even know I'm watching, because I put you on the big screen, buddy. Mm-hmm. And on the TV, I have a thing where I can tell it to put live chat. So on the right-hand side, it'll scroll up the chat, but there's no way to actually chat myself unless I have to do my phone. A lot of times I'm just sitting back, watching and stuff
shaking
like that.
Your head. You don't know what he's talking about.
If you've got a smart TV, all you got to do is go buy a wireless keyboard.
Well, I have wireless keyboards.
Just plug that receiver into one of the USB ports.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah. That's what I do on mine.
I'll have to try that, because there's been so many times when I do watch a live stream and you do want to comment, like you want to put a hashtag the yard or something to try to get in on their drawing or something like that.
You've done it now, Paul.
And I've always had to do now I have a dead gun. I have to build me a little table to put beside my recliner to hold my keyboard.
Well, what I started using it for first is like watching Prime videos or Netflix. If you want to search for something, it could take you 2 days to use that little thing where you go back and forth. Well, that's how I found out that my wireless keyboard would work, is I hooked that up and it works great.
Yeah, I saw Jesse said he uses a mini keyboard. Now you know where I'm going now. Amazon, looking for a mini keyboard.
The one I bought has a keyboard, and then off to the side, it's got a little touchpad. So you can slide it around.
This is one of those $20 Logitech. I think it's a K400 or something, and you just plug the little dongle thing in there. And
yep,
I have 2 or 3 of these, because I have another one over there on that set of sawhorses where my stuff for my Avid is.
I know what you're doing when you get off.
But yeah, it'd be nice to have something a little.
Yeah.
I don't want it real small, though, because that's why I don't like using my phone to try to comment.
And then it's got a touchpad off to the side, so you can move your arrow around.
All right. You guys see, you always talking about me being an enabler. I hear about some cool new thing I didn't even know existed, and I'm on it.
Is that kind of like squirrel?
Yeah. That's me. All right. Well, we've been on here about an hour and 15 minutes or so. I don't see any other questions. Mark, did you?
No, I did not
any.
either.
Okay,
You've
well,
picked everything up as it came along.
Okay. Well, I guess
kind of
we'll
made my job real easy.
I guess we'll get on out of here then. Especially let everybody get their Father's Day stuff going on. Hope everybody has a happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
That'll be tomorrow. So I reckon we will get out of here then without if anybody else doesn't have anything. I can get the button lined up here. All right, here we go. I can get where I can't do anything without my glasses. I swear, even with these big monitors, I still can't do it. But anyway, everybody have a happy Father's Day. Thanks for tuning in tonight. And you know what? I forgot to mention. I know JR thinks he snuck one in on me. I saw that super chat a while ago, so don't think I didn't see it. And I appreciate it, buddy. You spend way too much money for that on this show for sure. So anyway, everybody have a happy Father's Day, and come back and see us next week. And also be watching for whatever I make with that little tiny machine back there. So have a good one, y'all. Good night.
Take care, y'all.